Hi, and welcome to Geeks on Screens with Coffee. It's
6:15. Good evening.
on the 11th of March, and happy International Women's Day week. And welcome to the guest today. It's Dr. Victoria Holt. Hello, Victoria.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi,
Sorry,
Mark.
we can talk over each other. It's fine. Just beware, my mic is slightly louder than yours. That's all. Sorry. All right, let's do the things we need to do. Sync sound and vision. Now, right. We've been in a small window while that's happening. All right. You see, if I've done in a few years, I might get okay at this. Oh, okay. And you won't. Will you be able to see this?
Yes.
Oh, just about. Is it? No, that's annoying. Everybody gets their name in letters. So, how are you? And welcome to Geeks on Screens with Coffee. And what are you drinking today? What's your beverage?
I'm fine. Although the weather's been a bit bad today, hasn't it? With lots of rain and wind. But apart from that, everything's well. And which sequel bits mug do I have?
The speakeasy.
Yeah, most important to have the right sequel bits mug, isn't it? With coffee.
What's wrong with other sequel bits mugs?
No, they're all good, but I particularly like that one. But yours is good too. I have that one as well. I have all of them. I've been collecting. They make you feel better. They make you think, well, we're part of the sequel community, aren't we? And huge community that it is.
They make you go, when's the next sequel bits happening?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And we can't wait for that because it's like always an amazing event, isn't it? Lots of people there, great to help out and things.
Yeah, so
week.
Let's do a quick bio introduction. Now, I will get stuff wrong, so please correct me. So it's Dr. Victoria Holt. You work at COEO.
I do.
You live somewhere near Bath-ish. You got your name in space, so we can cover that in a bit. You also play the trombone.
Yeah.
What other amazing things? Sorry, you're at PhD. So do you get people saying you're not a real doctor because you can't revive them if they die?
Yeah, we do have that discussion sometimes that, yes, you're not a real doctor, but one of my other friends is a real doctor. So it's always an interesting discussion because there's quite a mix of us that are like doctors, but of either medical doctors or research doctors. So it is a strange kind of one. And then particularly with COVID at the moment, everyone keeps sort of saying, oh, you're a doctor. Oh, you must have been really busy and it must be really bad. And then I feel really bad.
You go, yeah. I mean, work's been amazingly busy. Yeah, a lot. I mean, I just haven't been able to travel to customers, clients, patients.
Yes.
Yes.
It's equally valid, but yes, it's particularly at the moment. It seems like people immediately think you're a medical doctor when you're a research doctor. So.
No, but you've done your PhD, you've earned that title, and that's what you get.
Yes.
And if it were me, I'd make everybody call me doctor, including my parents.
Yes, well, it was 7 years, so it was quite a long time to doing it part-time. So it's the same as if you do a normal, I think it's 7 years, I think, if you become a medical doctor, but that's full-time.
So do you want people to call you doctor?
Well, it's kind of, I like it because I spent so much time doing that. And a part of me, I really believe that research is absolutely critical to sort of innovation and things within industry. So it's kind of a part of who I am.
So we've got Thomas actually saying, you can't see it, but if you're watching the live stream on YouTube, you'll see that the chat is open. Yes, Thomas, I managed to fix that. Sorry. On a previous video, the chat wasn't open at the side, so you can see his message at the bottom. I know you can't,
right,
unless you've
okay.
got multiple screens open and you're
I've got 3
multitasking.
screens on at the moment, so but I thought I better not have the YouTube one on because it might interfere with broadcasting.
No, it will be fine. I've got it running on the other screen. It's there's just a delay, so when people say stuff, we won't see it for they don't.
Right.
It's sort of a 2-minute sync, so they're responding to stuff we've said 2 minutes ago. So it's like time travel.
Yeah. We could do with some of that.
We are more
Like in Harry Potter.
Like in Harry Potter. All right. Okay.
Well, Hermione, she went back in time and did 2 sets of classes, didn't she? Because she went back in time and did the class again, so she could do a different class.
Yeah. Now, considering the power of time travel, isn't that the most trivial reason to use it? And isn't that the most abuse?
Yeah, probably.
Now, forget the fact they can turn people into frogs and fly on dragons and do whatever. The ability to change time, and you're using it just to learn a bit more.
Yes.
I mean, don't they have a spell to just, we could do that. You can record the session and watch it later.
But you can get so excited about all the things you want to learn and all the tech. I mean, there's never enough time, is there?
No, but did that mean that Hermione was older than everybody else was at the end of the year?
That's an interesting question, isn't it? Because she's done things twice as long as everyone else.
Well, she's relived those hours, so therefore she would be technically older.
Yes, technically, yeah.
I know it's. I know it's.
Bizarre.
Well, if there's a small hill to die on.
Oh,
sorry,
yes.
sorry. I quite like time travel and how it's kind of conveyed in films. I watched. I was. Sorry, we have a whole list of things we're going to talk about, and then we go completely off topic. There was
I'm sorry.
something I read about. No. So I read about was that some university had worked out that you could travel effectively faster than the speed of light, but by staying under the speed of light by bending space-time.
Okay, that's interesting. There's quite a lot of theories, isn't there, about space-time travel?
Yes, but how practical it would be,
I don't know. Probably not practical.
Yes, and if time travel did exist, wouldn't they come back now to tell us about time travel so we didn't have to worry about it so much and make so many movies about time travel?
Yes, that would be the case. Yes.
Yeah. So you do. So we missed out. You are part of Data Relay, the organising committee.
New event coming up for that on the 19th, the week of the 19th of April.
That's really soon. That's like just over a month away.
5 days worth of events, so that should be quite exciting.
Do you know who's speaking, or is that still to be confirmed?
Yes, the agenda's on the website at the moment, on datarelay.co.uk. So, yep, two speakers a night.
Let me just Google that. Oh, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it. I just thought I'd pretend. Sorry. Oh, okay. Is anyone good? Of course, there's anyone good. Sorry.
Of course, there's anyone good. There's lots of amazing speakers as ever. Some MVPs, some not MVPs. There's several women speaking as well, so that's like quite cool as well. People like we've got people like John Martin speaking, or Anna Wykes, and then quite a few. We've got 5 different themes for each different day over different regions around the country. Obviously, with being a virtual event, there's kind of a different kind of theme, but it's still just to sort of like cover across all different 5 days of events. So similar kind of thing, but sort of like a best of kind of data relay, really. So
Monday is in Wessex, Tuesday Mercia, Wednesday Northumbria.
Yeah, so
There's
they're
Anglia.
4 different regions around the UK. So as we normally do a travelling conference, we've got a different region, the speakers from different regions every night.
Wessex. Who, whose idea? Mercia. I mean, do they still exist? Or are they the old? They're the old names, aren't
They're
they?
the old ones, yeah.
Okay, good. I just thought I was going a bit wrong, and then. Sorry. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. You can see them all on. Oh, Annette and Rob speaking down in.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. And you're also and you are. I won't say organizer. I would say queen of Data Toboggan, because it is your event.
It was a great idea. I love snow, and that's how it all got started, really. And I wanted to do something that was like quite cool and different, really. So we've got Data Toboggan.
You love. So is it really? Is it really called toboggan because you love snow?
Yeah.
So it could have been anything
Basically.
snow related.
Well, yeah, but it's also got a good sort of theme that as well. Toboggans go downhill with more than one person on those, and the whole sort of premise about being able to like speed up your adoption of analytics, it makes a good analogy.
Yes. Now, my experience of going downhill on a sledge would normally involve hitting a tree at the bottom of the hill, or running out of snow, because we don't get that much snow.
No, we don't. It's a real shame, isn't it? But yeah, we used to have quite a bit of snow. I used to live up north when I was a child, and we used to get quite a bit more snow then. So that was kind of like quite exciting. And yeah, I've always just loved snow.
So where are you from originally?
From Yorkshire.
All right, okay, because the accent isn't Bristolian.
No, yeah, I'm a Yorkshire lass.
Why did that? For some reason, that then just makes a lot of sense. For some reason, it didn't mesh in my head. So, which bit of Yorkshire were you from?
Near Leeds.
Okay. So that's on the what? On the
right near the Leeds and Bradford airport, on the other side of the hill.
Oh, okay, all right. So it depends on which side of the hill you live on is the important side.
Yes, you had to go up. You could get, as children, we could go up onto the hill and you could watch the planes land on the Leeds and Bradford airport. Because that's what you do, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if you've got an airport nearby, I mean, we when I was younger, we were directly under the flight path under Heathrow, so kind of.
That would be a little noisy.
Yes, well, it's not too bad. Only when they were running kind of Concorde would it ever be really noisy.
Oh wow! You've actually seen Concorde, have you?
Yes, but only from the ground level. I did have one experience where I happened to be driving under an extremely loud plane as I was going for a job interview somewhere near Heathrow many years ago, and it just shook the car to pieces. I thought I'm going to die. That's how loud it was, and that was clearly Concorde, because it was loud as well as going over the island when it would go supersonic. I know the difference between sub and. Sorry, the only reason why that occurred to me is that we had a sonic boom the other day, because we have there's a few air bases not far from here, and so we're like 30 miles, 20 miles from the sea. So as they're over the North Sea, like testing stuff out or going supersonic, we'll get pretty loud sonic booms, which kind of just you're banging. You think it's not a gun. All right. So we got distracted then.
We did.
Data Toboggan. Tell me about Data Toboggan, your love of snow, and then kind of, I mean, I've got some vested interest here, so I'm just, so
Yeah, well, you and I had this discussion, didn't we, after thinking about it'd be really cool to run something, and just, I suppose, being an MVP, really, one thing that I really enjoy is like all the new technology and what it can bring. And I'm really passionate after working with an AI and data science arenas, as sort of data architect before. It's like there is so much, and the actual things going forward that you think that analytics or advanced analytics is absolutely critical to going forward. So, and so I thought it would be like really cool to be able to incorporate that in a conference, and then to be able to help people on that path of learning, because there's never enough stuff to learn on all the available sort of learning on new technologies and things. And you can, and I always find like being able to go to some kind of conferences, you get to speak to other people, you get to see speakers. They're different from the standard sort of Microsoft Learn technology that you got that you sort of go through the pages and things. And I always find it's good to be able to hear sort of people speak on different sort of technology and things. So so that's how we ended up being I suppose the theme of the conference and everything. And then it was all like, well, we start before Christmas, didn't we? And then we had a couple of weeks off for Christmas, and then it was all go. And our first event was at the end of January, and it was like absolutely amazing. I can't believe we had so many speakers submit, and so many people just come and join and learn and chat during the day. It was just like a normal sort of like user group event. And I just think it's nice to be able to help people sort of like learn and participate in new tech, because it's the future of everything. And I just think that the advanced analytics side is something that's just so important going forward, and being able to govern the data within that. I just think that's really cool.
So because it's a virtual event. So in fact, the reason why I mentioned that it's a virtual event is that I was asking someone about whether they would submit a session, and they were going, is it virtual? Thinking, well, everything's virtual. And it then just made me think, well, is it the kind of thing that could go physical? Yes, it could, but it would have to be quite different. So
yeah,
it suits. So it's for people who didn't attend, it's effectively a single track 12-hour event. So you have a very limited scope of speakers, but because the topic is relatively new and people haven't seen it, it seemed like a really good idea not to dilute the audience by making them choose a particular session. But it was
and we did an end-to-end track, didn't we? So tried to cover all the different topics within Azure Synapse, so people got a full flavour of the capability, really, wasn't that? So
yeah, I mean, that was there were like there was a session on DevOps, a session on Purview, a couple of sessions on dedicated pools, a couple of sessions on serverless pools. What was there? There was several on. There was Spark, several on Azure ML.
And we had one on Azure Purview as well.
Yeah, pipelines. Catherine did that one, and then there was like an intro session at the beginning, and it was far more popular than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting like a third of the people to turn up, so I was quite shocked at how big it was.
Yeah,
and being virtual, it didn't really matter, because it's not like we were going to run out of food or run out of space.
No. And Teams did well, being able to use that, and live Teams, didn't it? So, and I quite like that. We could swap people in and out, and we could kind of see how that kind of worked.
Yeah.
It was a bit different from running normal Teams, but it meant scalability was there all the time, wasn't it? So that was quite good. And there was and we got people from various countries as well, didn't we? Right the way from like New Zealand right the way to America as well, which was like amazing. A lot of people in Europe as well. So.
Yeah, well, we had one person early on in the day in New Zealand, and then we finished off with someone else in New Zealand. So technically, we ran over 2 days.
Ah, I see where you go with
If-
that. 12 hours over 2 days. Yeah.
Because, in the UK, it ran from 8 to 8, but over in, different time zone, it ran from, whatever time, well, if it ran from 8 to 8 over midnight, then that would be 2 days. But it's, these are kind of little things that sort of came out afterwards. It hadn't occurred to me.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were booking speakers for the Saturday, but also for the Sunday.
Ah,
Because,
yes.
when the invites adjusted for their time, you go, oh, okay, all right. And I'm glad we didn't have too many mess ups where like people were turning up like the previous day or something. So, and it was pretty smooth. I was pretty impressed that nothing went horribly wrong. But I want to go back to the community bit, because that's very important. And we had Slack channel, and it's never quite going to be the same as being there with people, but I think there was a lot of stuff going on in it.
Yeah, I think that was quite good, because although we had like Teams with the broadcasting the event and things, we used Slack as the chat functionality, which is separate, so people could sort of chat and continue while other parts of the event were going on, and it ran continuously, didn't it? And I thought it was really nice because the speakers were all there in the chat as well, so people could just chat with the speakers, or they could ask questions, or it was just a very open kind of forum, as if you were walking around having coffee in an event hall with people. And I think you get a lot of value, don't you, when you go to conferences, with like being able to like chat to other members of the community or to other speakers, and just have that free sort of space to be able to do that. Whereas I think if we'd had that running with our sort of like teams, just with the like sessions as they were going, it's very kind of like, this is very session focused rather than thinking of like the bigger picture, isn't it? So
yeah. And also I guess that then leads on to what Richard is now doing with the Data Toboggan slide preparation, which is it's a user group type event that's running 6 times a year.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so yes, that's like quite exciting. Is quite keen to try and say, well, Azure Synapse is good. We'd like to try and do a user group that continues sort of like in between our big events. We're planning to run 3 big Data Toboggan events, and then but the smaller ones going on are to sort of help build up, like I suppose, Synapse communities, and make a place where you can have more sort of speakers, new speakers, and just sort of a much more sort of a relaxed, shorter thing, but just sort of have that continuous event going on, isn't it, really? So yeah, so I think it's nice to have that separate sort of like part of the whole sort of like Data Toboggan. So
all right, so let's just cover that complete. Let's finish that completely with the next Data Toboggan event. I should know the date. It's something,
the 12th of June.
12th of June.
And it's called Cool Runnings.
And you did watch Cool Runnings, didn't you?
I did. After you suggested, oh, this would be quite good, I thought, okay, I've not seen that film, so I had to watch it. And it was quite fun.
Did you have to actually go and buy it? Because I can't imagine it was available on any download on the streaming service. No,
but it was on Amazon.
It was. Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for a while, so I'm not sure how it's aged, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think it sums up like what we're about, doesn't it? Sort of fun and learning, and like it's just good to keep trying and keep learning. It had that same kind of theme in the film, so I thought that was like great for our next event on the 12th of June. And then we've got another great name coming up later on for our final event of the year.
Yes.
To disclose later.
Do you want to give any hints out for that? No. Let's make people wait.
Yes.
So we're gonna go off track slightly and reverse, and we're gonna go for a really serious question.
Okay.
I should have prepped you for this. I'm sorry. But what is your favourite cheese?
My favourite cheese. Uh
Everybody gets asked this question.
Everybody. Can I say cheddar?
Of course you can. I mean,
It works very well as cheese on its own and in food cooking as well.
yeah, they're fine. I mean, it might be what you've got in the fridge at the moment. And
It is.
since it's not made very far from where you are.
But they probably imported it from somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, all right. You're not supposed to say that.
No. Yes, they make it in cheddar just down the road from Bath. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So one of the things that people might know about you is that you are in a, can I say orchestra or band? What would be the most?
I'm in an orchestra.
And you play
I play trombone.
Ooh. So
and yeah, we've got a trombone quartet as well. So yeah, playing that. A couple of orchestras. So.
I don't really know anything about the trombone, but is it a pain in the ass to carry around?
It's very heavy. I think my trombone weighs about a stone on its own, so it's quite heavy. Silver plated, the one I have. I've had it for quite a long time. So, but yeah, it means you can play in like brass bands, big bands, orchestras. Hopefully, I was trying to go back to playing a big band, and then COVID hit. So, because I used to play in a big band, and then when I was finishing my PhD, I couldn't do that as well as playing orchestra and the quartet. So I had to kind of like reduce my outward going things because it got a bit busy towards the end of the PhD. So,
all right. So just rewind for those who aren't in the know like me. What's the difference between a quartet? I'm getting is 4 people.
It is, yes.
And are they
so
all
we have,
playing brass? Or they?
Yeah, we all play trombones. So we have 3 tenor trombones and 1 bass trombone. So the difference is that the tenor trombones, they might have a small amount of tubing or just the one main tube, and then there's the bass trombone, and that has a lot of tubing, and it's a lot lower pitched than the other ones. So there's quite a range. You might use I haven't got any pieces for alto, but that's like a baby one.
Oh, okay, all right. I think I might have seen one somewhere. And then obviously an orchestra is as we would imagine. So what would that be? Yes. 20 piece, 18 piece or bigger? Or
there's about 40.
Okay, so pretty big.
So I've played in a philharmonic orchestra as well, and so it just depends. That was a smaller group, and then more sort of community-based orchestra as well, which has more people in that.
So what's the difference between a philharmonic? So sorry if I'm asking really basic questions.
They're just it's just the names really, I suppose, that people have given. You can have symphony orchestras, philharmonic orchestras. It just kind of depends. There's a Bath Philharmonic here. I haven't played with that one, but that one's is like the professional orchestra, but then the symphony one isn't in Bath. But that's not saying that all symphony ones are not professional. So because they're all a bit different. So
okay, right. I mean, I don't know any of this stuff. So feel free to treat me like a complete idiot because I am. And then the big band now is I mean, that sounds like a 10 piece or something, and
usually it's a lot smaller, usually 4 trombones, and then 4 or 5 trumpets, saxophones, different saxes, alto, tenor, baritone, saxophone, and then obviously a percussion section and things as well. So but I play a lot of like big band musics. It could cover things from like Michael Bublé music right the way through to like Frank Sinatra or things that are Duke Ellington, things like that. So
more jazzy. So,
yeah.
Okay. So how many people then in big bands? So I've heard the term. I probably heard some big band music, but I'm just trying to visualize it. So you've got 12, 16, 18 people. It's as big as orchestra.
18, probably something like that.
And then is it really just the type of music that then is particularly different from an orchestra?
Yeah, because orchestra is generally classical, although it can do some sort of show things, but you wouldn't generally do classical like Mozart and Beethoven necessarily in a big band. So they're just like different styles of music. When I was at school, we played in the Albert Hall as part of the school's proms, but we did sort of, that was in a concert band, which is another sort of mix, because you have slightly different instruments that are part of that sort of. It's a mixture of like big band instruments and orchestra and woodwind instruments as well. So you've got sort of brass and woodwind really. So, and then you've got brass bands, which are different. I played in those as well, but not for quite a while.
Okay. There's a lot of different options to play in, and is that just based upon, do you become like specialized in one or other, or do you just you can just switch between them and just you play in the one that you like the particular music of?
Yeah, I mean, you can do, because I play trombone, you can play in all of those different types of things. But if you were a string player, you won't be able to play in a brass band, because strings play in brass bands and that kind of thing. So brass is kind of quite good to be able to play in lots of different types of things. Although if you play an orchestra, you quite often have to be able to good at counting, because there's lots of bars rest. Okay. So you might get a whole piece and it's like, well, so I've now counted 356 bars rest, and then I play my 3 notes and then we start again.
Oh really? Well, so you really just
so some of the elder music's a bit like that, but yeah,
so I guess, so do you like, if you have a choice, then I won't play that. I'll play something where I get a bit more kind of range and a bit more chance to actually.
Yes, that's why big band music's quite good. Or quartet, we do lots of different quartet sort of arrangements and things. So there's no bars rest in that.
No,
so,
no, it's not.
Yeah, but it's nice playing like the smaller quartet, because you get much more chance of like getting the tune, and it gets passed around between the different instruments. It's quite, and it's something slightly different. You don't often get lots of trombone quartets. You quite often might see different types of music quartets. So.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen or I've registered seeing a trombone quartet, but you know, obviously my musical sphere is very small, so that's why it's really nice to talk to someone who's got like a bigger range and in a completely different area. So I did ask you before. But what got you into playing the trombone? Because it doesn't sound like the instrument that every kid wants to pick up and play.
No, it's not. I think my parents were a bit shocked at the time. I think because it's like, you think at that point in time, it's like, well, as a young child and being female, it's not often that you get many females playing trombone. It's a lot more prevalent now, but yeah, because it's such a heavy instrument to hold and things. But yeah, my parents were quite into jazz, and we went to listen to Chris Barber, who's a trombonist, jazz trombonist. And I don't know, I just love the sound of the instrument, because it's a really mellow instrument, and it's just, and it can be quite fun as well. So I just sort of found myself a trombone tutor, and got some lessons from that, and had a trombone that I could sort of borrow and things. But then to be able to like do that, I worked in a restaurant in the evenings while I was doing my A-levels to try and earn the money to pay for a trombone. So yeah, so did that as well. So that was like really fun. Never was sad that I picked that instrument, or because it's just me really. I think you have an instrument range, a sound range that's like works really well for you. I think I don't really like really high pitched instruments like flutes or clarinets, things like that. I don't think wouldn't like to sort of spend a lot of time playing that. But yeah.
So I remember talking to Richard Douglas. He plays trumpet.
Yeah.
And I think I was talking to him a long time ago that they were. I don't think it's 3D printing, but they were molding plastic trumpets to make them.
Yeah, and I have a plastic trombone.
Oh, okay, you do. Okay.
I do.
How does that sound in comparison to the?
It's purple. It sounds really good actually, which is quite surprising really, because it's like got a bit of fiberglass on the slide and things, and yeah, and it's a purple bell and things. I should have brought it in, shouldn't I? Although it's a bit difficult to see in the camera, but yeah, so I've got that one. I've got a little baby one as well that's got a little slide thing, but I've been trying to teach my niece.
So do you use a mute on a trombone as well?
I do. It just depends whether you've got music that sort of requires that. I've got like 5 different types of mutes because they all produce different sounds.
Okay.
So we've got straight mutes and cup mutes and wah-wah mutes, and so.
Okay, so yeah, so I've seen the wah-wah mutes to get that sort of sound, and other ones where you I didn't know there were different types of mute.
Yeah, so they make sort of just different sounds, still the sound that comes out of the bell, really. So
I guess it's just something I know nothing about. So with the lockdown, restrictions are starting to sort of ease up. So is it like 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something? Groups of 6 people, I can't remember, it's or a couple of months. At some point, 6 people will be able to get together.
Yeah.
Do you think people will be going, right, we're going to get out and start playing?
Well, I don't know, because in the gap between the first lockdown and the second lockdown, musicians weren't allowed to play. Musicians, because the air that comes out the end, it traverses quite a long way at the end, and they were saying that if you had COVID and you were playing, you would hit people in the orchestra. They were talking about, well, you could put like screens up and things in front of the trombones. We're quite loud and noisy anyway, playing trombone. But you've seen the orchestras that have been putting the odd sort of events on that have been broadcast on television through sort of COVID, and they've been sitting the orchestra massively far apart from each other, much more than the 2 meters apart.
Yeah.
And then the brass are like over there somewhere.
Well, hidden away.
Yeah, so it kind of makes it quite difficult if you want to rehearse in a small space, because obviously if you did have something, it could then cause sort of trouble. So I don't know, we have to wait to see for the main music groups to say whether they think it's safe for people to start playing again. I mean, I think people like string instruments and things like that, where you're not pushing air through the instrument. I mean, they can get back to playing in groups a lot sooner, but
do people,
I'm hoping so soon, because I miss playing in an orchestra.
Do people try playing remotely via Zoom and via Teams?
Yeah, quite a few people have done that, and you've seen some people that they've broadcast all the different pictures of people playing in big groups and things like that. But it's not that straightforward. You think, oh, everyone just gets together and plays, but it's not like that, because basically you've got a time lag between you playing and it coming out, so you can't. It all has to be mixed behind the scenes.
Yeah. I assume that because you know, when you were watching them, they're never together and all the shots, but there's no way that you can make sure that it's synced. They pretty much either play to a recording or a click track or whatever to get the timing right, and then they just mix it.
Yeah, I mean, we thought about doing that, but it's kind of quite a lot to get all the recording mixed and things like that. Some of the people that I know have done that in different groups and things, but yeah, it's quite a bit extra. So yeah, my brother's partner, he sings in an orchestra in the London Gay Men's Choir, and you know, they couldn't, in between that lockdown period, they tried to practice but couldn't find a room big enough where they could get into with the spacing, so they kind of they did struggle. Yeah, and it just isn't the same when you're doing it on your own and you can't hear or see people and have that interaction. No, that's it. And you have either you have headphones on listening to the beat and things while you're trying to play. And because when you've got pieces of music that you play in a group, you don't get the tune a lot of the time. And then it's like you're just playing backing bits, or then maybe a counter melody or something. And then it's a lot more difficult to actually be able to do. than rather being sitting all together playing Watch a Conductor.
Yeah, I can imagine it's just doesn't work. You can try it, but it just, unless you've got some amazing tech that is delaying everything for you, but probably possible. But I wouldn't have thought it would be practical.
No, just some fast machines or something. But so I'm hoping it'll be live again soon.
Well, I mean, it will be. It's just soon is relative, isn't it? I mean, I didn't think we would be in lockdown for a year.
No, so it's all practice on your own at home.
Yeah, which I guess is okay. I guess, apart from maybe your neighbours are in more.
Yes, maybe so. Yeah.
So you moved recently, which I thought was absolutely mental, moving during lockdown. But I guess there must have been a good reason.
So it's well, I moved from one side of Bath to the other side of Bath. So so I need I moved nearer my parents and near the sort of centre sort of park as well. So my parents are in the 80s now, so, and it's quite nice that we've been a bit closer and things, so just sort of family really. So but I love Bath, so that's a nice place to be really. So, and you get up on the hill, so you can see all the lovely sunsets and things, which is amazing.
And how close are they? They're walking distance from you?
We're 30 houses away.
Okay, so pretty close then.
Yeah, we live on the same road.
So it'll
be interesting when we fill the census in.
Oh yes, I guess yes. So are you technically then part of a bubble with them?
Yes. I'm also part of Childcare bubble with my brother as well. So I'm part of their support bubble. So
okay. I guess it's more important to be part of a bubble with your brother than it is if your parents are okay and their health is stable.
So I mean, obviously they do need some help and things, so because they're in their 80s now. So so I've been doing some things there, but then I've had my nieces as part of the childcare bubble, so as well. So yes.
How old are they?
1 and 5.
Oh, okay. They're like the fun ages where you can make stuff up and they believe you.
Yes, they're very sweet.
Yeah. I've been to space. Yeah, I mean, haven't you?
Yes.
Because you can be the cool aunt that gets away with all sorts of things. Yeah.
Yeah. And my little niece,
here's some sweets.
The youngest one, she can say robot now.
So what are you training her up to be? Scientist?
Oh, I don't know really. I mean, my older niece, she's quite fun. And she knows all the planets by sort of sight from, but my brother's been teaching that to her, and she can say things like satellites and photosynthesis and things when she was like 2 and things.
You got to start them early.
She's quite interested. They're all like quite keen on trees and things. So I'm quite interested in what we can do to save the environment. I saw there was a thing announced at Ignite last week about a company, I think Microsoft are putting some funding in or something, or partnering with them, and a company that's actually looking to try and take the carbon dioxide out of the air and put it back into carbon under the ground. I thought that was amazing.
Well, there was Microsoft's aim. There is aim to be operating at carbon neutral, which I can't remember if we're at or whatever. So effectively we're offsetting or we're producing no carbon, and then to be completely carbon neutral for all the time it's existed.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy thinking about it.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. But quite amazing if it can be achieved. So
I know you probably don't watch it, but there's a book, a TV series called Snowpiercer, and the premise is that because of global warming, scientists come up with a way of cooling the Earth.
Oh right.
But they cool it too much, and we go into an ice age.
Oh yeah, no, I've not seen that.
No, it's not as it probably won't be as entertaining as Cool Runnings, and not as family friendly, because
no.
effectively entire society, all the people that are left on the world are on one huge long train. So, you know,
Oh, right. That's a different kind of scenario.
yes, a train with a perpetual motion machine keeping it going. Yes. Well, it's the only way something can keep going, because you run out of energy when you run out of fuel. And it can't. Never mind. The whole premise is ridiculous, but it doesn't sound too far fetched with what people could do and what people might do.
No. And that's like Microsoft Mesh. That's a bit like the Star Trek Holo deck, isn't it?
You were quite into that.
I thought that was really cool, because it's like the start of creating the holodeck for Star Trek, isn't it?
It is. I guess that's where it's going. So for people that don't know, Mesh is like a step on from it's the virtual reality. It's doing that. You still need the headset.
Yeah.
So, but it was just like making virtual reality more affordable, more user friendly, more ubiquitous, that you could use it anywhere. But yeah, I saw the demos of it.
See, I had.
And yeah, I was thinking, okay. Well, I was watching the bit where there seemed to be some sort of tribal club thing going on.
Yeah, but see what I think? Snowmen, toboggan, tater toboggan in a virtual snow scene.
Yeah. I'm completely with you on that one.
See, I just thought, wow, that would be quite cool, because we don't have any real snow.
Yeah, you know that when probably we were younger, there used to be something called Mr. Frosty. You could just get some ice and grind it into crushed ice, not snow, obviously.
Yeah.
You don't live anywhere near. Is it Milton Keynes has got the snow dome? There's a couple of indoor snow slopes.
The Open University there that I did my PhD with, but yeah, no. So it's quite a trek to get there. I mean, the easiest way is to go into London and out through Euston. So
you could always visit that when it's open. So the indoor snow slope, wherever that is. If you, I mean, you could just move to Canada or somewhere where they have more snow.
Yes, you could, couldn't you?
I really like snow. And one of my favorite things is going out at night in the snow, because the moon reflects off all the snow and everything is all bright.
Yes. It's quite nice if it's completely covered in things and you've got the street lights on it. I find that because they've changed a lot of the street lights now to these energy efficient street lights, it doesn't look quite the same sometimes now.
Yeah, we don't have street lights where we are. So so when it snows, so when it did snow and you go out at night, and in fact, if I go, I don't know what the moon's like tonight, but if it's on a clear night and it's full moon, you'll have a shadow. It's that you don't need a torch. It's that bright. Wow. It's only because when you're out and you've got all that ambient light and all that light coming from your eyes don't adjust very well, or it takes longer for them to adjust, or if you do something daft like look at your phone, or the dog's got a flashing a light up collar. If you look at the dog's collar, your eyes lose their you have to readapt to the darkness. It sounds really creepy, doesn't it? I walk around in the dark. It does
sound creepy, yeah.
Sorry, but it's...
Unless you take your dog out. Have you got a dog or something that
yes, you take out? Yes. I'm not just going out in the stalking people. I'm going out with the dog. Oh, God. Yes. My wife does think it's very strange that I'll go out at night to walk the dog at whatever time, because there's no one around. So there's no cars on any of the roads. So, the dog gets to run around, and that's a whole different story. Right, it's coming up to it's. I've had you chatting for quite a while, so there are. What we didn't cover that your name is on the moon. You really have to mention that twice, not once, but twice.
It's on the moon once and on
Oh,
Mars twice.
sorry, sorry.
It went up on the Curiosity and Perseverance, and Perseverance landed, didn't it, a couple of weeks ago onto Mars?
So, how do you get your name onto other planets?
Go to the NASA website, and they've always got mission things that you can apply to have your name tagged to. So I think like the Perseverance ones put names on the website as a list to go on their trips up to Mars, maybe a year, 2 years ago or something. So there'll be another one coming up and things. And I think there's an Orion one as well. It went on as well. So.
And was that like just a lottery? They just picked a random set of names, or did they pick?
No, it's just anyone that's wise, because it's just a list, I presume, but it's just stored on some storage media which went.
And these are basically the names of the for our alien overlords. So you'll either be the first to be taken up to our new alien habitat on Mars and on the moon, or you're the first in line to be food, whichever, what one or the other. All right.
Yeah, never know.
I mean, it's bad enough that they're sending up they sent up that gold disc with loads of stuff on it, with all the science and all the other information, giving away our secrets to there's life out there. Whether it finds that or not, it's the difference. But there must be.
There must be, yeah, definitely. But how far away it is or what it is, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, it would be amazing if something was that close.
Yeah.
And it's
a big place out there.
It is. And we're so primitive. Who would want to come here?
Who knows?
All right. Before we wrap up, I've got two more questions. And one is who to nominate next. So we can take that offline or have a think about that. And then the next one is you can see it from there, can't you? Otherwise it disappears. Sorry.
Yeah.
So this is, if you're not aware, Richard Herring is a comedian originally from Yorkshire, who then went to live in Cheddar when he was about 4. So in fact, there is some, synergy there. And this is emergency questions. There's 1,001 in here. You pick a number from 1,000 to 1. 1 to 1,000. Sorry, I don't know.
About 998.
And as long as it's not rude, I will read it out. And it might not make any sense. So some of these questions, any reason why 998?
It's not 1,000. And 999 would be a bit strange, wouldn't it? So that looks like it's a weird question.
It is a weird question, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it out, and then give you the opportunity to answer it or pick another one.
Right. Okay.
Given that bears don't poop in the woods, and polar bears basically never do. They didn't use the word poop, but what do you think people mean when they say, do bears poop in woods? Sometimes, not always, no. And what do you think people mean when they say, do bears poop in the woods? Are they referring to? Yeah. So it's pick another number. I mean, the next one is the Pope Catholic?
999 then? What, sorry?
The next one is the Pope Catholic? But 999. All right. I think someone's picked this before, but we'll try it out.
All right. I can pick another number if you like.
No. Actually, no. Someone did pick it, and it makes even less sense.
Right. Okay.
Go. We're gonna keep going all night. Go on, pick another one.
501.
501. Ooh. There we go. Okay, so these were actually questions. Are you aware of Sarah Pascoe? So
No.
these are questions he Okay, all right. So, what is the worst perk you ever had related to your job? So, given anything free or actually, let's go with something else. So, what's the best free gift you've had from a conference, or the best free thing you picked up from a conference?
This would be my hoodie that I've got on.
No, you can't. You can't.
Count?
All right, got.
I didn't pick it up from a conference. So from a conference, Redgate had these little sheep. You know, they have a product called the sequel clone, and they had the sheep that were for the clones, and it has like this tail that you pull and it vibrates.
Yes.
So when I saw I gave it to my niece when she was a lot younger, when she was about 2 or something, and I saw her a couple of weeks ago because I had to look after her, and there she was with this sheep pulling its tail.
Did it still work?
Yes, amazing.
So I thought they were just Shaun the sheep. I didn't realise that they were effectively Dolly the sheep.
Yeah, well, I think because they had this product, didn't they? A clone product, cloning databases, and I think that's what it was.
It makes far more sense.
Redgate can correct me if I'm wrong.
Did Redgate have the screaming monkeys, or was that another company?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see those.
They were another one where you basically, they had elastic in the arms, and you put the arms over your finger and thumb, and then you pull the monkey back and you let it fly across the room, and it gave out some.
Goodness. Oh, I didn't see those.
So your Synapse Analytics hoodie is the best thing you've had recently.
Yes.
Have you tried the wireless charger as well?
I've got a plug on order because it's a US plug on it.
Oh, okay. You can just plug it in with the USB-C cable.
Oh, can you? I saw the thing in there and I thought, I'd have to order a.
No, you don't.
I should do that then.
You just plug it into. As long as you've got a spare USB-C cable, then you just
I've
plug
got
it
one
into.
Of those.
Actually, I think one comes with it. There should be one with it, and I think it was just the mains plug, which was US or something.
Yeah, because that looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, I haven't used the disinfectant thing, the cleaner. I mean, I don't know. I just don't trust stuff. Maybe that's just me. I mean,
maybe not put your wireless keys in there or something.
Yeah. I mean,
it has some effect and your car doesn't start afterwards.
Yeah. It's just supposed to kill the bugs, right? Yeah. What's it doing?
Yeah.
Don't know. But you put all the dirty stuff in there. Yeah, because there was a thing of people. There's a picture of people's headphones and things in there as well.
Oh yes, yeah.
So, I'm sure it's safe as anything. It was something I didn't know I needed.
No.
I didn't know
they made them. So yes.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. So yeah. So got to test it out yet.
And clearly the mugs. I think the mugs. Yes.
Yeah. The stack of mugs.
It doesn't really work, does it, on that camera? All right. So, do you want to get back to me about someone to nominate for the next one of my next calls?
I'll do that. Yeah.
And just do the introductions. And thank you very much for the musical education. It's been really useful.
Okay.
And we'll just say goodbye to all the lovely people watching. All right. Showbiz, goodbye. To get the mouse over to the stop streaming button. That was